Hey YouTube. So I have this Dell 5820, and obviously you're having the same problem that I am probably. Um, I've owned it for about 6 months. I had it as a desktop work PC, and over the last month or so, it shuts off just randomly. Okay. Now the first thing I say is I've upgraded a lot of things in it. So over the last month, I wanted to make sure that if those are causing issues, it's shutting it down for some reason. Okay, so the first thing I did was run system diagnostics, and I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so once you turn on the unit, and then you see the Dell, and then you hit F12. And then you'll come into a mode, and it will show you boot. Now you're going to go down to diagnostics. Now give it some time because this is going to take a minute. As you can see, it says 18 minutes, and it will sit there and run through the process. There goes the fan. I'll be patient. Now it's testing the memory. Okay, no problems have been found with this system so far. Do you want to run remaining memory tests? This will take about an estimated time left, 24 hours, 0. So do you want to continue? No. So nothing is found wrong with the system. Okay, all tests pass. All right. So essentially, you could go into advanced, and then you can look at everything with the system, configuration, memory, processor, fan, everything that was tested, and it shows everything from the fan speed to the CPU speed, everything at once. Okay, so everything seemed to be tested and passed, so that's good. Okay, so after you have run the diagnostic test, um, now we're going to check the hardware. So essentially you come down here and you're going to go to all programs, and then you're going to go to accessories and then command prompt, and then right click run as administrator, and then it's going to pop up, and then from there you're going to enter SFC slash scan now. And then you're going to let that run through. And it's saying beginning verification phase of the system scan. And now be patient because it's going to take a minute. Okay, 100% complete, and it says Windows Resource Protection did not find any integrity violations. So it did not find anything with the software that's error, and the diagnostics did not find anything with the hardware. Now the thing that I did was I made sure that this is CPU-Z, and it's similar to the diagnostic readout, where it will tell you the core speeds and things like that, what memory you're actually running. Now, I don't know if there's a way where you can actually test individual RAM sticks without taking the other ones out. So that's what I plan on doing next, is basically removing the upgraded hardware and then see if it will actually continue running. I'll use it for a little while and then add the hardware back and see if that is what's causing the issue to have it shut down. And I will keep you up to. Okay, so after I've done the diagnostics on the hardware and diagnostics on the software, came up with removing what I've installed on the unit and see if that prevents it from shutting off. Now, when I first got this unit, it had one memory chip of 8 gigs. It had the same processor, the Xeon. It had 1 gig graphics card. It had no hard drives. And now it has 4 hard drives, 64 gigs, which they claim up to 128. And then it has a 4 gig graphics card from NVIDIA. So essentially, I've put, this is how you remove the lid. Click this little button right here. And I've put so much upgrades into this. So, okay, if you're, obviously you're familiar with this unit, this is how you remove the cover for the RAM. And I'll pull this off. And then as you can see, I've got 4 chips of 16. And then here's the upgraded NVIDIA, I believe it's 745. It has 4 gigs of RAM built onto it, and then the upgraded hard drive. So essentially, you can't really find much information on this thing, obviously. You can find small videos on how to put hard drives in the trays and the bays, but beyond that, it really doesn't explain much. So what I did was I put the SSD in here, and then I have 4, well, right now 3 hard drives in these bay trays. So what I did was I ended up buying, take off these clips, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then this removes. And then right here in the front, you'll see that there is that metal kind of cover right here. Pull that out, and then come over here and press this bay button, and you'll see the tray slide out. Now obviously you can put the Dell version in there, or you can put a CD-ROM, floppy, whatever you want to put in the bay itself. But see, I actually have a smaller slimline drive right here in the middle, and this is where I put the hard drive. So essentially I put the hard drive on a rolling rack, and then slide it in, and then once it locks into place, and then you attach it or whatever, then you put it in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of these bays, and then remove at least 3 of these chips, and see if that prevents it from restarting all the time, I guess. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so I've removed the 3 other chips and left 16 gigs in there. And essentially, right now it's got 16 gigs. And as you can see, it has the 3.60 gigahertz, it has 16 gigs, and I've been running it for hours, and it has not shut off once. So now I'm going to put the 64 gigs back in it and see exactly what's causing it. Okay, so I removed everything, the additional hard drives. I removed the 3 sticks of RAM. It ran off of 16 gigs, and it ran perfectly fine for hours, no problem, never shut off. The problem I was having was after even certain videos, it would shut off. So I did some more digging and did some more digging, and you don't find a huge amount of information on these things. Even the T5820 or most of these precision models. I guess it's because they assume you're an IT professional, of course, and you know about hardware, you know about everything else. You know, I went into my local shop, I tried to ask him for RAM. He's like, well, we never see those units. Those units are mainly for businesses, for IT professionals, obviously. So essentially, I kept digging and digging and digging and looking, and finally came across a forum, and it basically states that check your power supply. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then if the power supply doesn't, if it's faulty, then it could be the motherboard. That I don't want to find out, of course. Okay, so let's pinpoint it down to the power supply. Well, the power supply, like all the other old, most power supplies, there is no test button. There is no way to actually test the power supply. So what I did was I pulled out the power supply, and the crazy thing about it was it had a 425 watt power supply. And so I looked online, looked for the power supply for this unit, and I kept seeing 950. And I'm thinking, okay, well, obviously that could be the problem then. When you're running such a high graphics card and you're running such a high amount of RAM, obviously it's probably not going to run very well on a 425 watt. So I bought the 925 watt. And it's so easy. If you have not, check your unit, make sure, because this unit, like I said, when I first got it, it had 8 gigs of RAM. So I should have anticipated having a smaller power supply, but I did not realize it. So when I did research to replace the power supply, just to see how much it was, I kept seeing this 950. So they're very easy. You just pull them in right here, and there's a blue button. Pull it out. So now I'm going from 425 watts to 950. So I plugged it in. I've been using it for about 3 hours, off and on, here and there, letting it run. Used videos, used music, all kinds of tasks, surfing, going from websites to websites. Not once did it die. Not once did it power off. So that's the issue, I believe. So I'm going to continue testing it, and I thought I'd I'd make this video just to help out somebody, and hopefully if you have the same issue and it continues to power off on you, try replacing or updating the power supply first, and then if you have more issues, hopefully it's not the motherboard. Alright, well anyway, I hope this helps somebody, and take care.